It says, the topic here is simplify roots of negative numbers. Okay, so express the radical using the imaginary unit I. I. That's a special letter right there. That letter, I, means the square root of negative 1. Now, that's why it's imaginary, because you can't take the square root of negative 1. You could take the square root of positive 1. That's 1, right? Because the question is, what squared would give me 1? That's what it's asking. Okay? You could take the square root of 16. What's the square root of 16?
4.
Quattro. Okay, why? Because if I take 4 and square it, you will get 16. Okay? So, what the heck? How would you do this? How would you take the square root of negative 16? Is there anything that you can square that will give you a negative 16?
No. I.
No. Oh, wait. Yes, what you said, but no, you can't. There's no real number that you can square to give you negative 16. There's no real number. You can, however, square an imaginary number and get it. That's weird, huh? See, if I went square root of negative 1 squared, that means the square root of negative 1 times the square root of negative 1.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
This equals negative 1.
That's what I squared was.
Because the square roots cancel out with the squared. And so you get negative 1. That's the imaginary number. So I can say that this equals negative, I'm sorry, not negative, 4i. Because 4i, whoa, maybe I'm going too fast here. Check this out. This equals 4i times 4i. Oops. And you guys know what 4 times 4 is?
16.
Do you guys know what I times I is?
I squared.
Yeah, okay. I squared is what?
Negative 1.
I squared equals negative 1. So there you have it. Well, that's weird. Yes, it's an imaginary number. It's a fake number. Okay? Just like your friends. I'm just kidding. Okay, so how do you rewrite this so that it's in simplified form? Now it says write it with an I. Okay, so this is what you do. You just have to go like this. You go square root of 77 and put the I right there. The I is square root of negative 1. So if I were to multiply these two together, that's the same as saying 77 times negative 1, which is negative 77. Does that make sense? Cool. I know. This stuff I'm really kind of chicken scratchy all over the place, but hopefully it made some sense. And normally we put the I second. Can you put the I first? Absolutely. Actually, I like doing that more, but most of the time, like the standard way is to put the I after it, which is why when I write it, I like to put a little leg at the end to say it ends right there, and then I put the I. Because sometimes you're like this, and you're going all fast, and you put the I after it, it kind of looks like the I is inside. And you don't want that. You want the I outside, so you put a little hanging thing at the end. Does that make sense? Everybody good? All right, cool.